Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB and today is the 15th of June 2026 and yesterday Satoshi, that is the 14th of June, was a historic day for different reasons. Now according to me, the most important day why it is historic is because we now have a full agreement regarding Iran and US and looks like the war has ended. And in today's episode, we'll definitely go and delve into details regarding this. And more importantly, look Satoshi, yesterday, that is 14th of June, was President Donald Trump's birthday and there was an iconic UFC event. And just few hours before the UFC event, President Donald Trump did actually mention via Truth Social that a final settlement has been agreed between Iran and US. So it looks like now there's going to be eternal peace in the Middle East. And what I really like Satoshi since the last 24 hours, if you look at crypto-related ETF, it has changed from outflows to inflows. And this, according to me, is good matrix and will directly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it, Satoshi?
Well, George, there has been significant movement recently. You're absolutely right. That final agreement between Iran and the US is a huge step, definitely more than just a possibility now. And it could genuinely lead to some big changes in the Middle East. And yeah, seeing those crypto ETFs flip from outflows to inflows indicates some serious optimism in the market. It's not something to take lightly. Let's keep a close eye on it.
We'll definitely go and delve into that in today's episode. And here's the thing, guys, this week is going to be interesting because this week I believe there's going to be an FOMC announcement as well. But here's the thing, guys, because inflation has picked up pace, I very strongly feel that the new federal chair, that is Kevin Walsh, most likely will keep the interest rate the same. Who's to say he might go ahead and increase it as well. But let's see how the FOMC announcement turns out to be. Now in today's episode, Satoshi, after we go ahead and talk about the Iran deal, we'll also go ahead and touch base on some really interesting news that is connected to SpaceX. And last week, Satoshi, they did have an iconic IPO, and Elon Musk, he's set to become the first trillionaire as well. But in today's episode, Satoshi, we'll focus on the impact of SpaceX to the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So it looks like we have definitely interesting things to cover in today's episode. Now the next news, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is more about acquisition. And the first news, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is regarding Blockworks. And they have decided to acquire Masari. This, according to me, is definitely a genius move. So we'll definitely go ahead and delve deeper into this. Now the final news for today, Satoshi, is all the way from Japan. And MetaPlanet, who's an iconic company so far as Bitcoin Treasury Reserve is concerned, they have decided to acquire cybersecurity, so we'll definitely go and delve deeper into this. So it looks like Satoshi at a macro level, things are definitely shaping out better than ever before, but you never know, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies could be volatile for absolutely any reasons. So look Satoshi, in today's episode we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, isn't it? And like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we'll also be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what are the two news we're going to be discussing later on in today's episode, please?
So in today's episode, we're covering the potential pause and interest rate hikes with the upcoming FOMC announcement, the massive implications for SpaceX and the Bitcoin community after their IPO, and Blockworks acquiring Masari, plus Japan's MetaPlanet doubling down on Bitcoin. And George, these are those two key news items. First, Dubai launched GPT, an AI platform for government employees. And second, Hamdan bin Mohammed chaired a meeting focused on future technology and the digital economy. Sounds like we have a lot to unpack.
We definitely have a lot to unpack in today's episode, and what I really like about Middle East, Satoshi, is the leaders in the United Arab Emirates, they're definitely pro-Bitcoin, pro-innovation and artificial intelligence, and according to me, look Satoshi, Dubai as well as other emirates in the United Arab Emirates, they're definitely one of the safest, I would even say the best cities in the world to live in. So it looks like we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana. And they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into invest in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing, guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is, guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community, guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part, guys. Once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look, guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look, guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for, guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana, guys, is all markets one app. Next, guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me, guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning, guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right, guys. Palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, guys, is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look, guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen, guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below, guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025, as well as ETH Women. And look, guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it. Be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. all of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet, and this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now mind you guys, I'm looking at these numbers in the early hours of Dubai, and this was literally 2 hours after President Donald Trump made the announcement regarding Iran deal. So I'm definitely anticipating these numbers to drastically change by the time you're listening to the episode. Because here's the thing guys, market definitely reacts to a lot of positive news in it. And President Donald Trump in the iconic post did actually state, let the oil flow begin. This message according to me is definitely iconic and great. Now right now Satoshi, if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, it is at $2.31 trillion. But here's the thing guys, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is only at $54 billion. I wouldn't be surprised Satoshi, by the time you're listening to the episode, this matrix would be around the $100 billion mark, isn't it? But here's the thing Satoshi, unfortunately the volume of decentralized exchanges isn't looking that great. It is below the $3.50 billion mark. And according to me Satoshi, look, despite the prices of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to be pumping up, I don't anticipate the volume of decentralized exchanges to pick up pace. Cause look, when you talk about decentralized exchanges, the user experience is absolutely pathetic, and that is precisely the reason Satoshi, if you look at the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchange, it is only at $3.22 billion, and the total fees connected for these transactions is below the $50 million mark. It is at $49.84 million. And here's the thing guys, the total value locked is almost half of what it was on an average given day in 2025. It is only at $72.01 billion. Now look Satoshi, because we have reached a final agreement in Iran, do you anticipate the total value lock to pick up pace as well?
That's a valid point, George, about Dubai establishing itself as a safe haven. And you're totally right. The market does react quickly to news like the Iran deal. Now, regarding total value locked, it's certainly possible we could see that grow now that there's more stability there, though the user experience on decentralized exchanges, like you mentioned, remains a hurdle. It could definitely be a factor in drawing more funds in.
But here's the thing guys, whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. Now what I'm really liking Satoshi, if you look at the crypto ETFs, last 2 weeks it was in outflows, but right now it is showing as inflows. Now it's important to know Satoshi that this particular matrix is based on the last trading day in United States of America, which I believe was on Friday, isn't it? And today is the 15th of June 2026 on Monday. And based on the last trading day, which happened on last Friday, looks like there is inflows, and the inflows is looking pretty good at $81.69 million. But here's the interesting twist, Satoshi. Because FOMC announcement is scheduled to take place, I do have a very strong feeling that a lot of notorious traders, high net worthy individuals as well as institutions, they would cleverly be manipulating the market. And unfortunately, because the inflation picked up pace, looks like at this FOMC announcement, most likely the new Federal Chair, that is Kevin Walsh, will not be reducing the interest rate. He might even go ahead and increase it, but according to me, he might actually keep the interest rate the same. So I'm right in saying, Satoshi, now we need to go ahead and put our thinking hat on, because despite Iran agreement having a peaceful settlement, unfortunately the inflation did actually pick up pace last month, but at the FOMC announcement, they would be looking at information for the previous month, isn't it?
That's right, George. The shift to inflows in crypto ETFs is definitely noteworthy, even though it's a snapshot from the end of last week. And you bring up a good point about potential market manipulation ahead of the FOMC announcement. It could be a volatile time, especially if the chair decides to keep rates steady or even increase them. We'll have to watch closely to see how the market reacts.
Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, when is the next FOMC announcement this month?
Well, based on the regular schedule, the next announcement typically comes mid-month. And since today is the 15th of June, we're expecting it fairly soon. Usually the meetings are spread out throughout the year.
Now here's the thing, Satoshi, the FOMC announcement is actually scheduled to take place on the 17th of this month, which is literally a few days from now, isn't it? So because of that, I do anticipate a lot of traders, high net worthy individuals, as well as institutions, cleverly trying to manipulate the market despite the Iranian agreement. And according to me, look, Satoshi, this is going to be just notoriously clever move by them. But what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the matrix of the decentralized exchange platform. So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you tell our listeners the top 5 performing platforms in the world of decentralized exchange for our listeners, please?
Sure, George. The top 5 platforms by 24-hour volume are Uniswap at $678.47 million, PancakeSwap at $508.94 million, Aerodrome at $226.92 million, BisonFi at $145.52 million, and Orca at $135.35 million. That's the snapshot for today.
Well, thank you so much for that. And here's the thing, guys, you need to remember, I'm looking at these numbers literally 2 hours after President Donald Trump, along with the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Foreign Minister of Iran, who claimed that the agreement has been settled. Now, the Iran agreement is definitely positive, and I'm pretty much sure the market will actually react to this. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this matrix reacts over the next 24 to 48 hours. But as I said earlier, guys, on the 17th of this month, there is a FOMC announcement, so we need to be aware of that particular date as well. Now, that thing being said, Satoshi, since the last 24 hours, the volume of stablecoins isn't looking that great. Since the last 24 hours, Tether USDT's volume is only at $46.45 billion. Circle USDC is at number 2nd, and its 24-hour volume is almost 1/10 of that of Tether USDT. It is only at $5.30 billion. FDUSD is at number 3rd, but its 24-hour trading volume is below the $100 million mark. It is at $98.62 million. Now, what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the market cap, tell our listeners what is going on since the last 24 hours, and also the dominance of Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
Okay, so the current market cap for Bitcoin is $1.30 trillion, with about $20.05 billion traded in the last 24 hours, and it holds a dominance of 56.60%. For Ethereum, the market cap is $207.56 billion, with a 24-hour volume of $7.57 billion, and a dominance of 8.01%. Lastly, Binance's market cap is $82.54 billion, with a volume of $996.67 million recently, and a dominance of slightly under 1%.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, Satoshi, because it was President Donald Trump's birthday yesterday, why don't we focus on the United States of America alone? So what I want you to do next is, I want you to tell our listeners what is going on regarding the tokens that is connected to the United States of America, and also read out the matrix of the top 5 platforms, please.
The current market cap for the Made in USA tokens is $280 billion, which was a 2.7% change in the last 24 hours. As for the top 5 platforms, Circle USDC has a market cap of $74.77 billion. Ripple XRP is at $72.68 billion. Solana is at $40.69 billion. Figure HELOC at $19.15 billion, and Zcash at $7.72 billion. That's the overview, George.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you tell our listeners what is going on regarding the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin? And also tell our listeners what is going on since the last 24 hours and 7 days. As a matter of fact, Satoshi, why don't you do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please?
Certainly, George. For Bitcoin, the current price is $65,110, showing a gain of 0.95% in the last 24 hours and up 3.29% over the last week. Ethereum is at $17,117 with a 24-hour gain of 1.97% and a 2.48% increase for the week. Finally, Binance BNB is trading at $612.45, up 0.60% since yesterday and up 1.56% over the last 7 days. That's the latest data.
Now, I got to put you in the spot, Satoshi, and I got to ask you, because of the sudden Iran peace agreement, what are the key metrics do you think listeners should be looking at? But here's the thing, Satoshi, you also need to be aware of the FOMC data that is going to be out on the 17th of this month. But look, Satoshi, this Iran agreement, according to me, is a historic agreement. And I do think it is going to change the history of the Middle East forever. And more importantly, Satoshi, the Straits of Hormuz is opened as well. So what are the key metrics do you think listeners should be looking at? And let's focus only on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, alright?
Okay, George. Apart from those major events, listeners should really pay attention to the market sentiment. It's key to try and gauge if people are feeling optimistic or fearful, and that can drive prices. Also, make sure to stick to official sources and avoid mainstream media or fake news, which can be misleading. Beyond that, keep an eye on the general trading volume and those crypto ETF flows, the inflows and outflows. That can reveal a lot.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi. Thank you so much for that. And here's the thing, guys. When you talk about mainstream media, they're definitely suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, isn't it? And here's the thing, guys, the news that is taking place in Iran, according to me, is definitely a historic move. And President Donald Trump did actually post something really interesting about Truth Social. He actually said that the deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete and let the oil flow. And look, Satoshi, according to me, this news is great. Not just for RGC, more importantly, it is great for Iranian people. It is great for America. It is great for Middle East as well. And here's the thing, Satoshi. Right now, the Straits of Hormuz is opened as well. So do you want to tell our listeners what is the significant impact of this? Because according to me, this is definitely a historic moment, isn't it? And what I really like, Satoshi, you did actually tell our listeners not to go and follow fake news, isn't it? And look, as if you're still suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, I cannot stress this enough. Go and look at official sources. You truly understand that mainstream media, they often twist the message and they often put out fake news. And that is one of the reasons, Satoshi, I very strongly feel this quote about don't shoot the messenger is not relevant anymore. Because right now, messengers are definitely twisting the news. And most mainstream media in the United States of America, they are becoming activists as opposed to journalists, isn't it? But I want to get your opinion, Satoshi, because of this news. What kind of an impact do you think is going to have on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies over a short-term period, medium-term period, and long-term, please?
Well, George, that's a massive development with the Iran agreement. And you're right, it could definitely be historic for the people involved and the broader region. Regarding your question about impact for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, in the short term, this kind of major news can really increase volatility. People might react quickly based on optimism, but also uncertainty. In the medium term, if this leads to sustained peace and economic growth, it could potentially bring more investment and stability to the market. Long term, much depends on how the broader economic landscape evolves, and whether the deal holds and has positive lasting effects, or if new challenges emerge. It's really about watching the stability, sentiment, and economic indicators closely.
Now, the only thing, Satoshi, what I wanted to add is the official signing ceremony regarding the Iran agreement will actually take place on 19th of June in Switzerland. And this particular information, Satoshi, is actually put out by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who I believe has done probably the most important role in the Iran agreement. So news such as this is definitely great. And as you mentioned, Satoshi is going to be having a positive impact on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next news, Satoshi. And this is regarding SpaceX. And I'm pretty much sure all of the listeners know by now that Elon Musk is close to becoming a trillionaire right now, isn't it? And the reason for this is pretty simple. SpaceX on the 12th of June completed the largest IPO in history, and they raised $75 billion and reached a market valuation of $2 trillion. Now regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, Satoshi, the company also disclosed holdings of 18,712 Bitcoin, and this, Satoshi, makes them one of the largest corporate Bitcoin holders. Now some analysts, Satoshi, do actually feel that the IPO temporarily drew capital away from crypto markets and added short-term pressure on Bitcoin. Although it's important to note, guys, broader macroeconomic factors remain the main reason for the price going down. Now, am I right in saying, Satoshi, that SpaceX's public debut could actually further strengthen Bitcoin acceptance as a corporate treasury asset among major companies? What is your take regarding it?
You're absolutely right, George. That Pakistan's prime minister playing a pivotal role in the Iran agreement is significant, and it certainly could have a positive impact on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, regarding SpaceX, their historic IPO on June 12th and revealing their large Bitcoin holdings is a major statement. Even if that temporarily pulls capital away from some parts, having them become one of the biggest corporate holders strengthens the narrative of Bitcoin as a treasury asset. It could definitely encourage other companies to take a closer look. That's my perspective.
Now let's go ahead and talk about two news that is connected to acquisition, Satoshi. The first one is regarding Blockworks, and they have acquired Masori. And look, guys, now there are two giant companies that are joining together, and they will be having the largest data and intelligence platforms. Now regarding Masori, Satoshi, a lot of analysts would actually know that they bring coverage of 40,000 crypto assets, extensive market data, APIs, research and AI tools, and so far as Blockworks is concerned, they contribute investor relation infrastructure and also its token transparency framework. And look, Satoshi, with this acquisition, the combined company aims to create a trusted source of data and disclosure of crypto issuers, investors, exchanges, regulators, and developers. Now, regarding Blockworks, Satoshi, they do believe that the merger will help with the crypto equivalent of Bloomberg and S&P Global, while at the same time supporting the growing use of AI-powered financial tools. Now, do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what is your opinion regarding this acquisition? And what kind of an impact do you think it is going to have at an industry level? And finally, Satoshi, how can average users actually benefit because of this acquisition?
Overall, George, I think that acquisition of Masari by Blockworks makes a lot of sense because they're creating a real powerhouse in data and intelligence. At the industry level, it could mean more comprehensive data available, and average users might benefit by having a more reliable platform for research and making decisions.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see how this acquisition turns out to be. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next is Satoshi, and this is regarding MetaPlanet. And here's the thing, guys. They have agreed to acquire cybersecurities, and this I believe is for 2.1 billion Japanese yen, making it a wholly owned subsidiary and renaming it to MetaPlanet Securities. Now this acquisition, Satoshi, is part of MetaPlanet's strategy called as Project Now, that is aiming to build a Bitcoin-focused financial ecosystem, and they're leveraging its position as one of the world's largest corporate Bitcoin holders. And so far, SIBA is concerned, guys, they bring security licensing, a corporate bond platform, and also an investor network that will allow MetaPlanet to develop and distribute Bitcoin-linked financial products and also digital securities. Now, regarding this deal, Satoshi, it is expected to strengthen MetaPlanet's financial service business and also accelerate the adoption of Bitcoin-related investment products in Japan. Now, look, this news is definitely great, and a lot of Bitcoin OGs as well as maximalists, Satoshi, they're definitely excited regarding this news. But what I want you to do is, Satoshi, I want you to tell our listeners what are the benefits of having a Bitcoin treasury firms and also highlight some of the dangers for our listeners, please.
Certainly. Having a Bitcoin treasury can bring several benefits. First, it can hedge against inflation and diversify assets, similar to holding gold. It could attract investors who want exposure to Bitcoin, boost cash reserves through price growth, and signal innovation. It might also provide leverage for future financing or payment systems. On the flip side, the risks are significant. Bitcoin's volatility could dramatically hurt financials. Regulatory changes could create problems, securing the assets is a challenge, and there's always the risk of hacks. Public perception could also be negative if the market drops, and it can present accounting difficulties. So it's a balancing act.
You're absolutely spot on, Satoshi. It is a balancing act. And I'm right in saying, Satoshi, because the price of Bitcoin did actually fall down almost 50%, because in October it was at $126,000, and just a few weeks ago it did actually go below the $60,000 mark. It is not ideal for mid-sized companies to go ahead and have all of the strategy only in Bitcoin, maybe have a mix of portfolios.
Right, George. For benefits, having a Bitcoin treasury can offer potential growth from price appreciation, serve as a hedge against inflation, provide diversification benefits, enhance liquidity in some cases, potentially attract more tech-savvy investors, signal innovation, gain exposure to a global decentralized network, maintain control over your assets, and act as a narrative for future-proofing your balance sheet. As for dangers, you face extreme price volatility, significant regulatory risks, potential security threats like hacks, operational complexities around custody, potential negative press if the value drops, challenges with accounting and tax reporting, potential loss of capital due to errors, difficulty finding qualified talent, possible impacts on corporate credit ratings, and the opportunity cost of not investing in other areas. That covers both sides. Regarding the dangers you outlined, I agree that price volatility and security threats are very real concerns that require careful management, and regulatory uncertainty can add a lot of risk. While I can't endorse a specific strategy, your assessment of those risks aligns with common market perspectives.
So Lucas, when you talk about Bitcoin strategic firm, make sure you go and do a lot of thorough research. And according to me, look, it is ideal for trillion-dollar companies. Definitely not ideal for mid-sized or lower-tiered companies. But here's the important thing, guys, whatever we're saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. Now let's go and do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and discuss two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news is definitely an interesting one. And the news, guys, Dubai has launched something called GPT, which is an AI platform that helps government employees draft content, summarize documents and improve workplace efficiency. And the news, guys, is that GDRFA, that is General Director of Residency and Foreign Affairs, they have launched GPT, which is an internal AI platform designed to support employees. And the platform Satoshi aims to improve government efficiency, productivity and daily operations. And employees can use it for a wide range of workplace tasks. It actually helps them draft, edit and refine professional written content, and the AI can also summarize long documents quickly and accurately. And here's the thing, guys, it attracts information from large and complex texts, and users can also generate ideas, content outlines and suggestions, and technical and policy documents can be simplified for easy understanding. And the platform can answer employee questions and provide assistance. Now it's important to note, because it is in the Middle East, they support both Arabic and English content creation and communication. And this new GPT, that is GPT, helps the staff complete tasks faster, smarter and more efficiently, and it is built with strong data protection and information security standards, and it encourages safe, secure and responsible use of artificial intelligence technologies. Now look, Satoshi, this particular news definitely supports Dubai's broader digital transformation and innovation goals as in it, and moves such as this is designed to improve the quality and consistency of work outputs. And it also includes prompt guidance to help users get better AI results, and users can save, manage and revisit previous year conversations. And essentially this particular news aims to create a smarter, more innovative and future-ready workplace. What is your take regarding this particular news, Satoshi?
George, this new GPT platform for government employees in Dubai seems quite significant. It's designed to enhance efficiency and productivity by helping with drafting, summarizing, and managing documents. The fact that it supports both Arabic and English and focuses on data protection shows it's a well-rounded tool. It could really set a precedent for how government tasks are handled.
Now look, Satoshi, because you're in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrencies, do you want to tell our listeners what role blockchain technology could potentially play in this?
Regarding the role blockchain plays, it could provide decentralized data storage for the platform, ensuring robustness and transparency. Also, things like blockchain-based tokenization could be used for user authentication or potentially managing secure document access. There's potential for secure, auditable logs of actions too. That's the angle I see.
So if you were to set up a framework to go and implement blockchain technology into this, how would you go and approach it? And more importantly, Satoshi, what is the timeline do you think this could be achieved?
Establishing a blockchain framework would involve creating a private network for the GDRFA and related agencies, ensuring secure data sharing and immutable records for things like residency applications and visa processing. The approach would start with a pilot program, then integrate existing systems. Regarding timeline, with focused effort, a functional framework could be running within 12 to 18 months, starting with key functions.
Well, thank you so much for that. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and look at the next news. Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what this news is all about? Because according to me, it is definitely a game changer, isn't it?
Sure, George. Let me do that for you. Hamdan bin Mohammed chaired a meeting with the Higher Committee for Future Technology Development and the Digital Economy. First off, Sheikh Hamdan presided over a discussion on advancing future tech and boosting the digital economy's growth. Next, Dubai gave the green light to plans to speed up the use of agentic AI in businesses. Also, this initiative aims to make the private sector more ready and innovative with AI. Furthermore, Dubai wants to establish itself as a global hub for advanced AI solutions. Consequently, the private sector will have a very central role to play in this transformation. Additionally, AI is expected to generate new opportunities and economic growth. Importantly, agentic AI can perform tasks, make decisions, and even manage operations. Thus, Dubai plans to move beyond traditional AI systems.
Now, according to me, Satoshi, the most important thing regarding the news is that the program aims to support 295,000 companies across Dubai, and Dubai is planning to develop 100 specialized AI assistants in 2 years. And here's the thing, the strategy also supports launching 50 new agentic AI companies, and Dubai will be hosting the 50th IPC World Finance Programming Competition as well. And here's the thing, the event will bring 140 student teams from over 70 countries, and the global programming contest will take place in November 2026. And also Satoshi Dubai has launched a global talent network to connect skilled professionals, and the platform aims to attract top international talent and experts. And here's the thing, Dubai Police will launch a digital twin system for smarter surveillance, and so far the pilot phase is concerned, the pilot phase actually includes 150 cameras across the city, and the system supports real-time monitoring, analysis and decision-making. And Dubai's SME Digital Trade Initiative, guys, along with Amazon, now has surpassed 105,000 businesses, and they also have a platform called Ignite with a Y. They now serve over 36,000 entrepreneurs and startup founders, and more than 3,000 mentoring sessions have been delivered through Ignite. And we also have Dubai Air Campus, and they have hosted over 400 specialized AI and tech companies. And Dubai Founders HQ, guys, they've attracted 1,100 members, 400 startups, and over $200 million in funding. So it looks like Dubai is definitely taking leaps and bounds. And this news, Satoshi, according to me, is not surprising at all. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, leaders in the Middle East, they're definitely very proactive to Bitcoin, innovation, as well as artificial intelligence. So this news is definitely great and not surprising at all. So these were the newscasts on the Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, alright, Satoshi?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. I'm curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us. Hey everyone, it's Satoshi from the Blockchain DXB podcast, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. And we have a question from Carl who asks, is the return of ETF inflows an early sign that crypto sentiment is turning positive again?
To be honest, Carl, it is way too early to tell that, because when you talk about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, things are absolutely volatile, isn't it? Now, according to me, look, the reason is pretty simple. Because President Donald Trump had an agreement regarding Iran, that is the only reason why since the last 72 hours, we are seeing inflows in the world of crypto ETFs. But let's say if this deal does not materialize, we might once again go to outflows, isn't it? But here's the thing, Satoshi, we also need to remember that on the 17th of this month, there's the FOMC announcement as well. And as we discussed earlier in the episode today, keeping the FOMC announcement, a lot of notorious traders, high net worthy individuals, trillion-dollar companies, they would cleverly try to manipulate the market. And could it be possible we might be seeing crypto ETF outflows just before the FOMC announcement? There's definitely room for notorious players in it. What is your take regarding it, Satoshi?
That's a very interesting point, George. The volatility and sensitivity to geopolitical events like the potential Iran deal and political statements definitely play a big role. And you're right about the upcoming FOMC meeting. That kind of macroeconomic uncertainty often drives market manipulation and speculative movements. So we could see pressure on inflows either way, depending on the outcome and how traders react, and even experience outflows in anticipation. It's definitely a complex landscape to navigate.
It definitely is, but what I wanted to find out, Satoshi, is because of the Iran agreement, am I right in saying that we might be seeing a sudden drop in the price of oil? And that could positively impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well, which eventually could actually have a lot of inflows in the world of crypto ETFs. What is your assessment regarding it, Satoshi?
Well, it's possible, George. An agreement could potentially lead to more oil supply on the market, which could push prices down. If that happens, it might reduce inflationary pressure, and that could influence central bank policies in a way that's more favorable to riskier assets like Bitcoin. So there's a direct oil price factor and then a macroeconomic one. However, the connection isn't always clean, as there are many other influences at play. But that's definitely a plausible scenario.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi. And here's the thing, as in the United States of America, there is midterm elections as well. And according to me, look, This move by President Donald Trump is absolutely genius because it does give a lot of independent voters at least 3 months to go and rethink the vote, and according to me, Republican Party most likely will win the midterm election and they might actually win it with a lot of fees. But here's the thing guys, whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research, and thank you so much for this interesting question, Carl. And that's about all guys from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays we have Blockchain DXB podcast. We look at the process, we look at the latest technological development, we talk about different partnerships, and right now guys we do have a historic Iran agreement, and on the 19th of this month is when the signing ceremony will also take place, so definitely stay tuned to official news regarding that. Now in the Blockchain DXB podcast we'll definitely go ahead and update our listeners. Now we also look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, we look at the latest technological development, we talk about regional partnerships. Artificial intelligence is definitely a hot topic in the Middle East, and what you're listening to right now guys is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So thanks so much for listening guys, and have a nice one, bye bye.